Hello everyone, my name is Igor. Today we have a very interesting car review. It's the Renault Arkana. Well, as you understood, we're starting right from the interior. Right now, we'll set everything up. Yes, you already noticed. Everything is adjusted manually. The seats are fully mechanical. All adjustments are mechanical. We are sitting in the full package. Renault Arkana. What makes it different? It has a leather interior with beautiful white stitching. Various possible driver assistance features, which I will talk about. The body is painted in one color, that is, along with the handles, as far as I know, the thresholds and mirrors. And a couple more features. And most importantly, the engine here is a 1.3 turbo, and it's controlled by a CVT. Also, this car has all-wheel drive, as should be the case with all crossovers. It's controlled by a button, meaning you can switch to front-wheel drive, auto mode, and lock mode. Lock. By the way, let's check it. Well, it turns on. It doesn't lock here. It goes back to auto and turns off the same way. Yeah, it's a cool feature, but I don't know what it does. So, what do we see here on the steering wheel? For some reason, on the left side of the steering wheel, there's cruise control, and on the right side. On the right side, there's the switch for the onboard computer on the instrument panel. Well, or how else can you call it? A multifunctional display. Then, for some reason, the music and multimedia are controlled here. Sound, channel switching, and that's it. Here. There's some kind of knob. What does it mean? So, let's figure out the music. It's not simple. So, by the way, our multimedia is a fully touch-sensitive 8-inch display. I've already used the display and realized that it has some slight lag. So, here's the navigation. It's not installed in principle, so there's not much to see here. Let's go into settings. Driver's assistant. What do we have here? Listen, it can. Read. It can. Read road signs. That's cool. I hope everyone knows, right, how this works. Multisense. So yes, this is probably the main cool feature, which can be activated either by the sensor or by this separate button. There are 3 car setting modes. The 2 main ones are Eco or Sport. When you press Sport, it does. We move to the racetrack. When you press Eco, for some reason we move somewhere. Well, let's say tricycle. Mountainous terrain along the lake. And the 3rd setting is Configuration. That is, we can customize it ourselves as we need. But in fact, the only setting here is, as far as I know, the steering wheel stiffness. 3 modes: Sport, Regular, and Comfort. Now we will drive and see how it works. Let's leave it on Sport for now. The drive, which for some reason is not working yet, but this, by the way, can be fixed with an update. And the lighting. The color of the lighting. To be more precise, yes. Of course, red. Moving on. What else is interesting here? Aha! The function. Right here, the setting for the engine auto start function, which I haven't talked about yet, but we have already found it. Let me get the key. I hope I can do it. For Renault, this is a relatively new keyless go system. The car automatically unlocks when you approach it and automatically locks when you move away to a distance of about 10 meters. And if you walk past the car, this happens constantly. It unlocks, locks, unlocks, and locks. So, regarding the remote engine start, there's an additional button here, which, as far as I know, by pressing a certain combination of buttons, the engine starts. Basically, this feature is now available in almost any aftermarket alarm system. But Renault installed it directly from the factory. This is basically convenient. You can warm up the engine or, in the summer, by turning on the air conditioning in advance, the cabin will be cool, making it comfortable and convenient for you to get into the car. So here, on the display, this is the setting for this parameter. You can also program the start time. For example, 15 minutes before you leave the house, the car will start in the same way. You set, for example, 7:45, depending on when you go to work, and the engine starts. The cabin either warms up or, on the contrary, cools down, depending on the season. So, the car configuration, nothing interesting. What else is here? The system. So, in general, it should be said that the audio system is Bose, or however you want to call it, Bose. In general, everyone understands what I'm talking about. It supports both iOS devices and Android. That is, it connects perfectly. Car, play in, Android Auto. Alright, what else is interesting here from the buttons? We are interested in this one right now, since we're talking about multimedia. Yes, cameras. There are 4 cameras here, which I think really helps with parking and maneuvering. Now we see the front camera, the rear camera. You could even see under the license plate and the number. The right one. The right camera is located right on the mirror, or to be more precise, under the mirror, looking a bit backward, as far as I understand, right? Let's check. So, I don't quite understand where it's looking. Open the door, please. It's looking forward. It's looking forward. Jordan. The camera looks down and forward. That is, there it is, on the front wheel. And accordingly, the left camera. Everything is the same here. It also looks down and forward. Besides the cameras, there's also a very handy feature, the blind spots. When someone overtakes you, a car on the right or left, as far as I know, it should give some audio and visual signals. As far as I know, when you're being overtaken, either from the right side or the left side, a light comes on in the mirror, and possibly it also gives some audio signals, but we'll try to check that now as well. It's summer outside right now, but nevertheless, we need to talk about what other features are installed here. So, first of all, there's a heated steering wheel, heated seats for all 4 seats, including the rear ones, heated windshield, and heated side mirrors. That's it for the heating features, but that's also cool. For such a car, a budget option, I think the functionality is quite impressive. What else? Here, we see the traction control switch, and the separate buttons for the heated steering wheel and windshield, and the button to activate driver assistance for, well, blind spots and blind spots. Here we have the button to turn off the parking sensors if you don't need them and they annoy you, and the quick access button to the menu we already talked about. Well, let's talk about the materials. The steering wheel material, well, of course, it's some kind of faux leather or something. Well, something inexpensive, just like the car itself overall. As for the grip, well, I like it. I tend to prefer controlling it, either here. These holders are convenient, like in many cars. It's plastic. Well, quite hard. Let's say it looks nicer. Looks nicer than it feels. But you're not supposed to feel it, just look at it. So, I think it's not bad. The back of the seats. The seats are also made of inexpensive material. Well, leather. More like faux leather, of course, with interesting, beautiful stitching. And there's even perforation on the sides. Well, yeah, it's cool. Selector. I like it. Overall, I like it. Dials. Heaters. Need to turn up a heater. Yeah, not the heater, but the air conditioner, of course. The dials are cool, buttons like in an airplane, right? Almost. Only the top doesn't press, and the bottom is one way. So, here we have, 2 USB ports. One well, a spot for a cigarette lighter. The lighter itself is not there. The glove compartment is here. That's normal. The glove compartment here is small in the armrest. I don't know what will fit in here. 2 cup holders. There are some spaces here for all your trash in the doors. Well, and here, I also thought this was a glove compartment, but actually it's the fuses. A little mirror, with a light. Cool. Alright, the light, everything is great. Basically, the functionality is almost everything everything needed, I've covered. Let's start with something more interesting. Let's go! Can you believe it? I figured out how to turn on the radio. And I forgot again. Helps. Everything is a bit ambiguous in this car. Here's something else I wanted to say about the touch screen. Yes, it's a bit slow, but I don't know, kind of like Windows on a computer. It seems like once it's fully loaded everything, it stops lagging. It works steadily. Everything is fine. The camera, by the way, turns on. Everything is good. Oh yes, the front camera turned on automatically, even though I didn't ask for it. I think it should turn off while we are moving now. It turned on. Found some new cool mode. It's called Driving Eco. I don't know. It tells us that we have an overall score of 99 out of 100 for eco driving. So it calculates that. We're just driving in this mode, or what? Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, well, what now, actually? Let's test the off-road driving quality here a bit, and in the meantime, I'll talk about the power unit itself. As I mentioned, this is the top configuration with a 1.3 turbo, 150 horsepower. CVT transmission, all-wheel drive. The engine was developed in collaboration with Daimler. So, it's manufactured in Russia, and accordingly, it is detuned to, well, more precisely, 149.5 horsepower, as far as I know, to meet tax regulations. So, and as we all understand, a turbo engine, especially if it's detuned. And, by the way, there's unofficial information that you can use 92 octane gasoline in it. I don't recommend doing that, of course. The car is homologated only for 95 and 98, but you can use 92. everything that will be said, would I? There you go. We all know that you can simply boost a turbo engine, meaning change the firmware. Boost it a bit. Remove the catalytic converters, and the car is immediately off warranty. But you get, I think, about 15 to 20% more power, and that's much cooler. The acceleration of this car in stock is 10.5 seconds to 100. It's kind of slow, it seems, but I think it's quite normal for a car like this. There you go. While we were driving off-road here, I noticed that. Overall, it handles small bumps well. Well, a couple of big sharp potholes. Well, you know, it depends on what you're comparing it to. I'm used to driving a large SUV, something like a 4Runner or a Sequoia. Well, of course, it's a completely different car, a different class. But it's comfortable to drive. Well, period. So, we need to somehow check. We need to somehow check this system. Control is on. Blind spots are on. Now we need to find somewhere. Let's drive along the fence and see how it performs. So, by the way, I wonder how close we need to get to the fence. Here, the road surface doesn't allow us to get too close, but we'll try now. So far, silence. I think it doesn't work while stationary. So we need another car. So far, the experiment is unsuccessful. Complete silence. Nothing is happening. It's not reacting to anything. We need people, or another car. Here in the field, we have neither. The nozzles, they are also heated. I forgot to mention. The windshield washer nozzles are also heated. What else do we have outside? As I already mentioned, in the full version we have color painted. Mirrors, mirror housing. That's cool. Actually, 17th alloy wheels. LED optics. What's it? Called pure vision. C-shaped lights. I don't know if you can see them during the day right now, but they look really cool when lit. There you go. Well, the interesting, unique design of the car overall. I really like it. I'm basically doing a review on it now only because I liked its appearance. It's cool. So what else? Well, of course it's, how do they call it themselves? Sloping or downward sloping or something like that, the roof. Oh well, it probably reminds everyone of something, but you decide for yourself what it resembles. Rear LED lights. Interesting. Trunk. Since we're here, let's see what's inside. 409 liters, as far as I remember, in the all-wheel drive version. If it were front-wheel drive, it would be 509 liters, which is pleasing. But the design doesn't allow for more. Also, of course, we have a low but deep trunk, again due to the sloping roof. What do we have down here? A full-size wheel as well. I see it's a 16th, but it's full-size. That means the outer diameter matches the main one. So, as far as I know, yes, homologated for 95 and 98 octane gasoline. Let's open it up and take a look. We need to stand here. Well, all right. Yes, 95, 98. Plastic fuel door. As I already mentioned, painted handles matching the body color, cool fender liners. Well, actually, about the design itself. Captor, duster. Is it the same as the Arkana? No. In fact, as the manufacturers themselves say, it is 55% a completely new car. A completely new platform modern. By the way, already one of the best in crash tests. One of the best ratings among budget crossovers. In this car, in the full version, there are 6 airbags, including front airbags. I know for sure about the drivers, but I'm not sure about the side one. They are somehow called SRK. I think these are dual stage airbags that, let's say, protect your rib cage. That is, it deploys in 2 stages. That's pretty cool. What else about safety? Well, of course, let's go check inside the cabin to see if there's ISOFIX, the child seat attachment. Yes, I see that there is, on both sides. Also, in the full package, in the full package you get this. Aluminum threshold, Arkana. Leather seats, as I already mentioned. Well, let's go and see what we have in the back, in the rear row. All right, let's get out right away. It's high. Personally, I find it comfortable to sit behind myself. I'm 6 feet tall. It's quite all right. The roof is fine. There's still some space. There are armrests and cup holders. The rear seat heating is turned on here. I think. I read that there's a configuration with USB, but I'm not sure. With rear USB, I don't see it here. So, by the way, here's one of the airbags too. In the pillar. So, what else? Yeah, basically. There's nothing else here. Leather seats, pockets. By the way, the seat is soft. Without protection from those people who like to, well, do this. Well, alright. ISOFIX. And that's it. Folding seats, we forgot to mention. Let's fold it and take a look. With the seat folded, it creates an almost flat floor. The rear shelf can be removed. I think a fridge should fit if it's not too wide. Like that. Let's move on. So, the experiment with our super key. As I said, it just stays in your pocket. Right now, it's open. We step away. There, it's already closed. We step away a certain distance. It closes automatically, and as soon as I approach, it's already open, and I can use any door freely. There, we sit down. Just press the brake and the start button, and the engine starts. That's it. We start moving without any problems. By the way, there was a welcome sound. You can make the air conditioner quieter. All right. Oh, yes. The ERA GLONASS system is installed. In our country, unfortunately, it doesn't work yet. But in Russia, some other CIS countries, and some cities, it already works. And that's cool. Well, on the downside, I think, for this price, the car is quite decent. The claimed consumption is 9 liters in the city. And mixed, I think, is 7. And that's in automatic mode, with all-wheel drive. So, it's unclear. More often, I think, you'll be driving in front-wheel drive, and when necessary, it switches to all-wheel drive, well, during slippage or other situations. By the way, which is also cool, there's a hill start assist system here. I don't know how relevant this is with an automatic transmission, but with a manual, this function is quite relevant. So, from the aspects that I don't like, well, how should I put it? There are many aspects here that might not satisfy some of you. Maybe the quality of the materials, maybe some driving characteristics, engine power, or, well, I don't know, the suspension, maybe some might not even like the appearance, although I personally really liked it. The question is different. What should we compare this car to? What should we compare it to in terms of price? And, let's say, material quality. So who is its classmate? Its classmates are the BMW X4, GLE, some Kia, Hyundai. And I'll tell you, if you compare it with these cars, it's quite competitive. If we're talking about the Germans, it's immediately significantly cheaper, just significantly cheaper than the Germans. Well, Kia and Hyundai are completely different cars, and it's up to you to choose. So, friends, this car in the most basic configuration starts at 1,240,000. That will be a 1.6 naturally aspirated engine with a manual transmission and front-wheel drive. Our version, the full configuration, is 1,740,000. This is a 1.3 turbo, as I mentioned earlier, with a CVT and all-wheel drive, also essentially in full configuration. What can I say about my opinion? Would I get such a car or not? I think I would. Maybe not the most fully loaded one. I wouldn't overpay for some of the features, but a mid-range version, not the most basic, but with the 1.3 turbo engine, I would take because the power is quite decent. There you go. Well, overall, I think that's it. Thank you to everyone who watched. Thank you for watching until the end. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.